and now rocking with me, your favorite beat lady T, in the place to be. And you have now entered the Tea Lounge. And this is Bedtime Stories. I was supposed to be doing this a long time ago. And the sad part about it is I procrastinated, and it was supposed to be a collaboration with Fresh Pressed Juice. May she rest in peace. And I waited so long, child. The lady didn't even get to live to see the day. But we're gonna start it now. All right. So I was originally hey to Tweety, hey Steph, what's going on? So I was gonna originally read this with Fresh Pressed Juice. I came on, I started reading The Coldest Winter Ever, because it's supposed to be part 2 of The Coldest Winter Ever. So I came on with The Coldest Winter Ever, and then somebody stole my Coldest Winter Ever. So I was gonna get a new one and all this other stuff, and I was like, let me stop procrastinating and get started. And it would make sense if I had my glasses. Duh. Hold on. I'm sorry. I should have had my glasses already. So let's get started. So, A Deeper Love Inside, the Porsche Santiaga story. I hope you all read The Coldest Winter Ever before, because we then you would already know that Portia was Winter's sister, right? Chapter 1. Not every bitch is a queen. Most chicks are just regular. Most of them know it and accept it as long as nobody points it out. A queen is authentic. Not because she says so, just because she is. A queen doesn't have to say nothing. Everybody can see it and feel it too. A bunch of bootleg girls been trying to come up. That's why that's what they supposed to try and do. But their borrowed, stolen style sucks because it's borrowed and stolen. A queen knows who she is, inside and out. She wouldn't imitate anybody else. In fact, she creates her original styles. Waits for the bootleg bitches to catch up, catch on, and copy. Then switches, making their head spin, eyes roll, and their short money pile disappear. I'm going to tell you what I hate first. Then I'm going to tell you what I love. Every word that I say is straight because I don't have time to play with you. The majority of my time is spent stacking my status and plotting to get back my stuff. I hate conceited girls. They're played out. You may think that I'm one of them, but there's a difference between conceit and quality. Or should I say conceit and truth? Matter of fact, some of the ugliest females I know are conceited. We are living at the point where this shit is all mixed up on purpose. The ugly ones pretend they look good when everything they got is cheap and fake, including their personalities. The pretty ones play themselves down because jealousy is more realer than the air we suck in and blow back out. I, Portia L. Santiaga, am a real Real pretty bitch. I try my best to stay in my lane and mind my own business to keep all the envious ones from talking shit, mobbing up and jumping me. It isn't easy in being the sister of a queen. Naturally, I look up to her. But still, I gotta be me. Imitation gets no respect. I would never live my life trying to look like or be like someone else. Regarding my sister Winter Santiaga, every day for 8 years, I had my big brown eyes trained on her. She's a queen. Not because she's beautiful, which is automatic. Not because she's a badass with endless style and personality. Not because she's my oldest sister, my mother's best friend, and my father's most loved jewel. None of these are the reason. Ricky Santiago has 4 daughters. His firstborn, Winter, seemed to have occupied his whole heart. My handsome father was not to blame. Everyone loved her. When she was in a crowded room, everyone was looking her way or trying to stand or sit right beside her. Even in our home, she soaked up all the love as though we were the only child, as if she were the only child. But she wasn't the only child. Me, I'm the middle sister, the middle daughter. Maybe you know a little something about how that goes. Everyone's eyes were either on the oldest daughter because her young figure was ripe and ready, her eyes so mischievous, and her face so feminine and perfect that they were all scared she might get pregnant. Or their eyes would be on the youngest because they are the babies and they might get hurt. The middle girl is too young to be fucking, too old to be falling down. So everyone forgets where she is and what she is doing. I got mixed feelings about being invisible. There are benefits, I can't lie. But sometimes quietly, I was yearning for Papa and Mama to pay more attention to me, simply because their love for me was as true and as strong as my love for each of them. I didn't want to have to beg them for love. I didn't like the idea of having to be annoying to get attention or having to make a dramatic or phony scene. I hate pretense. Winter was a Winter was a queen in my young eyes because she didn't have to ask for love, but she was always receiving it. When she did receive it, no one cared if she returned it. They loved her whether she loved them or not. She didn't seek attention, she commanded it. Winter had the best of everything without working or obeying. Her friends would come in and call and constantly surrounded my sister. Even my younger friends wanted to grow up to be Winter. My old aunties wished they could be young again, only to try to look and live like Winter. More than that, in my young eyes, Winter was above pain, punishment, and mostly no one else in the world can claim that. In the chaos of any crisis, she walked in looking good, stylish, clean, and untouched. She'd shift her pretty eyes right and then left and come up with the swiftest plan, which only she knew the details of. I was home when they arrested my father. Winter wasn't. I was left at home when they arrested my mother. Winter wasn't. I was home when the kidnappers, social services, snatched up Lexi and Mercedes. Winter wasn't. We three sisters were separated and trapped in the system. Winter wasn't. In fact, Winter and Mama came to check on me one time at a state supervised visit where I was being held and watched over by the kidnappers. When they walked in, my beautiful mama's head was shaved bald. Shocked for some seconds, I still wanted to hug her and have her hug me back, tight enough to signal to me silently that she knew that this shit was all wrong, that she could take me back home with her. Mama's eyes was filled with rage and sorrow. Winter looked rich. She was sparkling and free, like she had 1,000 little light bulbs outlining her entire body. Her caramel skin was glowing. Her hair was fresh, soft, long, and second only to her pretty face. She looked unbreakable, untouched, unaffected. Then it was confirmed in my eyes on that exact day that Winter was straight royalty. Above everyone who suffered on a regular, including now my mama and me. That so-called visit was the first time I saw my mother and my sister after being taken. And the last time I saw both of them together ever again. I miss my mama so much I ache. Like when you have to vomit to end and there's nothing else to throw up. Only thick yellow fluid that comes out. That nurse said it was called bile. Have you been in the emergency room strapped to a bed screaming out, Mama! 156 times. Papa! 77 times. And I want to go home 33 times. As for Papa, 6'1", light skin, strong, suave, with not even a teaspoon of bitch in him. No man on earth is better than him. Mom is like a cup of hot chocolate on a freezing morning. Papa is like a cup of black tea with a whole lot of heavy cream mixed in, dark and light. They complemented each other. Winter was the best parts of them, all in one. I love her and fuck anybody else who doesn't, no matter his or her reason. Listen, when I tell you I'm 100% loyalty, if you can't count, you know that there's nothing left over from that. Unique. I know I'm different. Unique. I'm sorry, I had to. Sorry. Unique. I know I'm different from her, but we sisters. We're full-blooded related, so I'm royal. I inherited these looks like Winter Mama. My beauty's undeniable, captivating, and offensive to many. No, I'm not light-skinned. I'm honey brown, like an expensive Godiva that can be purchased in a specialty shop. My brown gold eyes are outlined with a thin black line that circles around the pupil like an exotic bird. When people first notice them, they pause and look again. Every day I fight, not because of anything I did, just because of who I am naturally. I fight younger, angry bitches because they wish they had them same eyes. I'm fighting. and can't and can't get comfortable until they poke mines out. My skin is flawless, like satin, an unaffordable diamond. I'm a dancer, not a stuck-up ballerina or a fucking stripper. Back on our best Stuyvesant, back on our best Stuyvesant Brooklyn block, I had an all-girls dance crew. We used to rock. We even won first place at our block party over at the girls that was older than us. People were amazed at how young our bodies could bend and move, flow, and bounce and shake like we knew shit. We couldn't possibly have known and experienced shit that none of us had experienced. We tore it up. Moving to raw bass, throwback titles like It Takes Two. That night, my mama placed her hands on my hips and I said I would grow up to be a moneymaker. I liked the feeling that I was doing something that made mama look my way for more than a few moments and believe in me. My hair is black. It grew from my own scalp and lays on my back. Mama said it's long because I'm loved. She says other bitches don't know or don't want to keep their daughter's hair clean, oiled, combed, conditioned, and clipped. Back then, mama would say, If you see a bald bitch, she's unloved. Or she cut her hair off because she don't want to be loved. Or she cut it off because she ran up on some rotten love. Me, I know mine's is real nice. But I don't worship my hair. I could keep it neat and never throw it in nobody's face. Apparently that ain't enough. In a 2-year stretch, I had 17 fights. 9 of them were brawls over hair with half bald bitches with homemade weapons. I fought a conceited girl named Cha Cha 4 out of the 9 fights. In arts and craft class, I grabbed the one pair of scissors I shared that was shared by 20 girls chained to a desk and cut my hair off and gave it to her so she could stop fucking sweating me. She wore my hair braided in a single box braid on her head the next day. I didn't say nothing to her. I had gotten comfortable with my shortcut overnight. Then she got mad at me because I wasn't mad. So she fought me again. The authorities, that's what they call them, they locked me up in isolation for fighting. Every time they act like they don't know what the fight is all about. Every time they act like we 50-50 involved in the fight when they know damn well that that chick hates herself and is going to fight till somebody kills her and puts her out of her, it doesn't say fucking misery. I was embellishing. Even my wrist locked and my ankles chained, headed to isolation, I don't react. They release me into that little space, butt naked. Then I dance. Repetition makes my legs beautiful, strong, and tight. I don't eat, so I don't have no body fat. I taught myself to accept hunger because people try to use it against you when they think you got something that you really need, even if it's only a sandwich. I dance until I'm drenched. The music plays in my head, sounding crisp like it did back in Brooklyn. I stop when I collapse. Then I wake up in another wing with a tube in my arm and a bad breath nurse faking concern, whispering something like, "You could have died last night." I close my eyes and wish I had enough fluids in my mouth to spit on her just to clear my throat. Let me clear my throat. Okay, sorry. When they would bring me back into the population mix with the rest of the bitches, 522 of them to be exact. I see most of them girls from the section gasp like they seen a ghost. I know certain ones of them won't be happy until they slip my perfect skin open or at least put a permanent stamp on it. That's why I plot. In one of the monthly head sessions they make us have, one of my enemies told the therapist that she fights me because I think I'm better. I told her she fights me because she thinks I'm better. These regular bitches don't get it. It's not my hair or my eyes or legs or none of that bullshit. That makes me who I am. Plain and simple. It's that I'm Porsche Santiaga, born rich. My daddy was rich. My mama was rich. My sisters were rich. I'm not going to act like a regular bitch when I was born royal. They never had nothing, so they don't know no better. They got nothing to miss. I had a queen size bed when I was 7 years old. Even before then, back in Brooklyn at my sister's 16th birthday at Moe's in the dead of winter season, my whole family was styling. I rocked a 3/4 mink earmuffs, and a mink muffler instead of gloves. I have a mother who taught me the difference between everything cheap and quality. I had 3 sisters, all dimes, living swole in a beautiful Long Island palace. The last thing my papa promised me was a pony so I could trot around our property. It's the police who are the criminals, kidnappers, and thieves. The authorities know the deal. They all in it. They all in it together. That's why I'm jammed and sharpened. Number 2 pencils in my caseworker's neck as she was driving me in her state-owned vehicle. She tried to say something slick about my family, about Winter in particular. I don't play that shit. Family sticks together. If a bitch believed she could say something rude about Santiaga out loud or in my face, I was obviously not on my job. Now, I don't know if I was trying to kill her. I just wanted the bitch to pay attention to what I had been telling her for many months. I'm Porsche Santiaga, sister of Winter Santiaga, the twins Lexus and Mercedes Santiaga, Brooklyn born. We chill now in a Long Island mansion. Stop driving me around and dropping me off to broken, perverted, ugly ass foster care providers and introducing me to strangers who want to pretend to be my parents. I don't pretend at nothing. I don't like fake shit. Take me home. I have a house and a family. I told her clearly in a respectful tone. I recited to her my exact Long Island address. You shouldn't look up to a girl like Winter, even though she is your real sister. This bitch said one autumn morning when I was seated and trapped in the back seat of her state vehicle, where I had been seated and trapped many times. She must have felt good and big about herself with her files filled up with dirty talk about my real life and her folded newspaper that must have reported some lies that she decided to believe. So she started saying something foul. Winter, my caseworker said, referring to my well-loved sister. My caseworker is now paralyzed, child. So she got a lot of time to sit and think about all the lies she been telling. I'm sorry, wait a minute. I didn't mean to break character, but yo, she was paralyzed. And then she said she got a lot of time to think. She said she got a lot of time to sit and think. Wait, I'm sorry. She got a lot of time to sit and to sit still and think about all the lies she been telling little kids about taking them to live in a better place and better circumstances. She knew what the fuck was up. She said and do anything, no matter how evil it was, as long as they paid her to do it. She dropped me off anywhere, including hell, and leave me with anyone, including a motherfucking devil. Even if she knew for sure I was in serious danger. As long as that was addressed, printed on that paper, she'd leave me without looking back. So they got me locked up in juvie. It's better than playing house. Everything in here, everything is clear in here, the way I prefer things to be. No one is pretending to love me or the rest of us. We damn sure ain't pretending to love them or each other. In here, there's only friends, enemies, no in between. That was chapter 1, you guys. Should I do like 2 chapters a night or just a chapter a night? How y'all want it? Tell me how you want it. How does it feel? Going up in the I feel. Okay, I'll do 2 chapters a night. Okay. I overheard my papa, Ricky Santiago, say, a good hustle starts with a tight team. I got mine. We call ourselves the gutter girls. Because one of our teachers said we act like we come from the gutter. I didn't feel fucked up about the gutter thing. I figured if a rich bitch dropped a diamond in the sewer, even if it got covered with shit and slime and trampled over by mice and rats, if someone discovered it 10 years later, they'd easily clean it off and it would still be worth major paper. Probably even more than it was back when it first got dropped. I turned that gutter shit right around, made it pop. 2 upside down lower cases, interlocking G's. When we got our shit together, we could capitalize it, turn it right side up like Gucci. When I first formed the Little 7 chick clique, I thought the leftover looked, I took the leftover, looked over, overlooked chicks from the C section and gave them a do over. My first recruit was a fat, stinky girl. Her friends called her Greedy Gal. Gail. Her enemies called her Pig. This is ironic. I checked out how she got a. I'm sorry. I checked out how she got a lot of letters and even a box of goodies from home once a month, and she seemed to have a big budget at the commissary. While everyone else took the time to tease her, I approached her to strike a deal. I disregarded her funk and went right into it. I called her by her name, Gail, and kept it polite on purpose. Do you like music? I asked her. She looked at me like she wasn't supposed to be, like she wasn't used to nobody being nice. After a pause, she said, a little bit. You want to dance with me on the yard? I asked her. We could do a dance workout together. It'll make you feel good and look good too, I said. I could tell she was thinking about it. So I pressed her some more. You have a pretty face. You might as well match it all up. I said. She seemed to like the way I put it, taking the edge off. Not on the yard, because everybody be staring, Gail said. Okay then, we'll do it in the dorm at night in our section starting tonight. I compromised for her. Then I eased into purchasing a Department of Corrections radio and cassette player for $39.99. We got to control the beat, I told her. I help you, you help me. How could I help you? She said, like it wasn't possible, like she thought I was already perfect. Just put in the work for the first 2 weeks. We'll do you first, then me. I said. She agreed. I put up with her farting every time she lifted her fat legs, and even when she bent over to try to touch her toes. In a short time, in addition to the workout, I put her on a diet, convincing her I was only helping her to resist temptation. I took over her care box and her commissary, selling and trading her goods and candies on the low for half price the authorities charged. It was easy for me. I didn't have to pay for nothing in the first place. My hustle was so sweet that I tipped off the sugar wars in the young section C dormitory where she was locked. I made a name for myself. The more sugar schemes I invented, the more rules the authorities invented. The more they punished and stressed us young girls, the more the demand for my discount sugars increased. The more sugar everybody ate, the more tempers flared, and the fist fights began flying. I wanted to be known for making money and moves, not for brawling. Fighting was an interruption to my business. But the better my business, the more fighting came along with it. Truthfully, we didn't have no grants or Benjamins on lockup. I made paper in arts and crafts, and I made my section believe in it, work for it, trade, and pay for things that we all should have had anyway. But the authorities didn't provide charging that the authorities didn't provide, charging us for it instead. They knew that shit was fucked up for the girls like me who didn't receive no letters or visits and had no one placing even one piece of copper on our commissary. As Gail dropped the pounds, she grew more confident. I thought her I taught her to stop munching up the product. I, I taught her to stop munching up the product and work out even harder. She liked me and didn't just talk shit. I worked out beside her and never let her see me laugh at her flaws. When she wanted to skip a night of working out, I refused. I held her feet down for sit-ups and cheered her on. And when she made the smallest improvement. Music is influence. We picked up four more chicks from our section, all strange but drawn in by the music and dance workout, as well as the results of seeing Gail's recovery. When she got down to an attractive size and her face had not been buried under layers of fat, When she got down to an attractive size and her face that had been buried under layers of fat got revealed, she became ruthless and loyal. If I got in a fight, she handled the business while I was trapped down in isolation. Now she fought on my side along with 5 of the girls I recruited. Now that girl looked decent, I liked her for true. Big, sloppy, stinky girls can't get no respect. Because more than anybody else with a problem, theirs is the first thing you'll see and smell. So everybody uses it against them. Okay, so we'll continue with chapter 3 and 4 tomorrow night. Okay, guys? Y'all have a beautiful rest of the night. I hope you enjoyed that. All right. I didn't get the chance to look at the chat. Okay. Yeah, I didn't know that Sister Souljah was let me not. I'm not even going. Mm-mm. Y'all have a beautiful rest of the night. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.